How to make lunch. Step 1. Have a noon meeting at work where they feed you.
Hey, guess what time it is? So as you could probably tell, the sun's actually out again today. That's good. It's still really cold though. So friends, it is December the 7th, and something happened in Ohio the other day. And by the other day, I mean yesterday. Something happened in Ohio yesterday that we need to talk about. I'm going to get some of the details on this story wrong because I don't have it in front of me and I haven't looked at it for a bit, so forgive me on that. But the Ohio House, I believe, passed what is known as a heartbeat bill. If you don't know what that is, that basically is a bill which makes it illegal to perform an abortion if you can detect a heartbeat from the fetus, which you can generally do anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, usually before the woman is even aware that she's pregnant. My understanding is that this bill is actually an amendment on another bill, which was tacked on to the bill literally at the last minute. I mean, you have to tack on amendments, you have to submit them 90 minutes before the bill hits the floor. They submitted it 91 minutes, so literally the last minute. Now, I don't believe it has gone through the Senate yet, and our Governor John Kasich is pro-life, but he is also against a heartbeat bill because he believes it to be unconstitutional, and because it is unconstitutional, it likely will not hold up in court. So there's that, but just the mere fact that it made it through the House is very troubling to me. It should hopefully come as no surprise to any of my viewers that I am pro-choice. Abortion is not really an issue that I have talked about on any YouTube platform at all. I had to come inside because everyone decided to come home all at once and Shadow was barking. But anyway, like I was saying, abortion is not really an issue that I have talked about really at all. And the reason I've always given is that being male, I am never going to be in a position where I'm going to need to get an abortion, and therefore I wouldn't say so much that I shouldn't have an opinion on it, but it's not for me to say whether or not somebody should have an abortion. That's basically my pro-choice position. If it's your choice whether you want to have an abortion or not. And while that's true, and I think to a certain point valid, it also serves to sort of skirt the issue. It's a way for me to avoid really engaging with this issue. And it seems like invariably, whenever there is some sort of decision made restricting abortion, it is done by a bunch of old white men. And it's more than just abortion. The issue goes way, way beyond abortion. This is kind of what I have started to learn over the past few years. It's more than just abortion. It is just another way for men to control women. It's just another way of dehumanizing them. They're not really people. The women are not as important as the fetuses that are inside of them. And so if the fetus, which is not yet a human, is more important than the woman carrying the fetus, then what does that say about that woman? That she's less than a not quite human? Actually, just earlier today, I saw a bumper sticker on a car that said, "You can't be Christian and pro-choice." What? Just on the face of it, that is ridiculous. Pro-choice just means that you are in favor of someone's right to choose. How does that in any way contradict being a Christian? I don't remember where I read this, but I do remember reading something regarding the pro-life, pro-choice positions, that they're always painted as the two extreme positions on the abortion issue. But in actuality, the pro-life position, which is completely restricting abortion, in some cases allowing it in the case of rape, incest, death of the mother, but very often just completely and utterly restricting abortion, what you're basically saying is you are forcing a woman to have a pregnancy. You are forcing a woman to carry a child to term. You're not allowing her the choice. You're not allowing her to take a look at her financial situation, her marital situation, her relationship situation. Look at even if she is able to raise a child. Look at if pregnancy is going to be a health issue for her. To look at all those issues and to consider whether or not she should even carry the child to term. And this is the point where pro-life advocates will be saying, well, she should have thought of that before she had unprotected sex, or whatever it is they're going to say. And it's like, first of all, you do not get to decide when or how anybody has sex, ever. That is not anyone else's decision to make. And secondly, mistakes are going to happen. Every so often, you're going to have a situation where an accidental pregnancy can occur even if you are careful. And so are you basically going to say that because of one mistake, this woman deserves to go through a 9-month uncomfortable, painful pregnancy, give birth to a child that she might not even be able to raise adequately, which would also be a bad situation for the child? Are you honestly saying that that's fair? The life of the mother, the life and the well-being and the health of the mother is more important than the life of a not yet human. Period. But the pro-life position is an extreme position, forcing a woman to carry a child to term, to have an unwanted pregnancy. The other extreme of that would be forcing a woman to have an abortion. Nobody but the sickest of people is in favor of that. Pro-choice is not saying, oh, just have an abortion every weekend. It's allowing women to make a very difficult choice for themselves, just as all humans do. And this whole thing is just, it's so underhanded. We can't all out restrict abortion because of Roe v. Wade. We can't do it. But what some state legislatures, the measures that they have taken to just slowly whittle away at pro-choice, at abortion rights, is just astonishingly underhanded sometimes. And this bill is a prime example. It seems like something that would make sense. Well, if you can hear a heartbeat, that must mean that it's alive, and so you shouldn't get an abortion at that point. Not taking into consideration that a heartbeat can be detected oftentimes before the woman even knows that she's pregnant. And here's my thing. If these guys really felt like they were doing the right thing, they should have been upfront about it. They should have just said, hey, we're going to put this thing out there, and we're going to vote on it, and we're going to see where it goes. That's what living in a democracy is. You put the ideas out there and you see what people think, and if it's an unpopular opinion, then it doesn't go anywhere. That's just the way the system works, or it's the way that the system should work. But by doing it in this manner, by putting it there literally at the last minute, by basically hiding it before anyone really had a chance to do really anything about it, is just so sneaky and so underhanded and so infuriating, the measures that they take in order to get this past everybody. And what they're saying is that these guys are doing this in the hopes that they can get these little measures through, and because of bureaucracy and red tape and all this garbage, it'll take some time for them to go through the process of getting rid of it, and maybe by that time President Donald Trump will have appointed enough conservative Supreme Court justices so that they can overturn Roe v. Wade, and it'll all be academic anyway. Oh, guys, I don't know. I don't. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on abortion, and if you want to unsubscribe from me now that you know where I stand on this, that's fine. Go for it. Knock yourself out. But that's where I stand, and I said I was going to share opinions on these things, and so this is me sharing my kind of incoherent opinion on this issue. There you go. And now my dog's coming over to comfort me because she can sense that I'm upset. Come here, Shadow. Good girl. Look at what a good girl she is. You're such a good girl. Are you camera shy? I think you're camera shy. Every time I point the camera at you, you turn away from it. You're a good girl. Oh, look at the ears. Look at the ears. There, a few seconds of adorable puppy makes up for several minutes of incoherent rambling on abortion, right? And now it's the next morning, and I forgot to film a closing anything. So, bye.